Hello everyone, welcome you all in another video lecture. So in this video tutorial, we are going to discuss about the cytoskeleton. So before moving to the topic, let's understand about the basic facts about cell, what are the cellular organelles and what is the cytoskeleton. So basically we know that a cell is defined as a structural and functional unit of all the cellular organisms, which means that all the cellular organisms are made up of a monomer unit called as cell, and the cell consists of different types of cellular organelles which are responsible for their specialized functions. So the first was first discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665, and he named them as cell, which names in the Latin like small rooms. After some time in 1863, scientist Rudolf von coined the term cytoplasm for the fluid-like substance which is found in the cell. So the cytoplasm is found in between the nuclear membrane and plasma membrane of the cell. And there are different types of cytoplasmic organelles which are found embedded in this cytoplasm. And these cytoplasmic organelles have different types of functions, and they are very essential components or organelles of the cell. So here in this diagrammatic presentation, we can see the ultrastructure of plant cell, indicating all the parts or cellular organelles of the cell. Here we can see the outermost layer, which is cell wall in the case of plants, and then followed by plasma membrane or cell membrane, and in the core of the cell we can see the nucleus having nuclear membrane and genetic material. So this yellow fluid-like substance is called as cytoplasm, and the organelles which are embedded in the cytoplasm are known as cytoplasmic organelles. So this whole cell or all the cytoplasm has the net of different filamentous and tubulous structures, and these structures are called as cytoskeleton because they. So now let's understand about the cytoskeleton. So basically the cytoskeleton is the structure that maintains the shape and internal organization of the cell and provides the cell mechanical support. Let's understand in the simple words that the cytoskeleton is a network of filaments and tubules that extends throughout the cell from the nuclear membrane to the plasma membrane, or we can say that it extends in the cytoplasm of the cell. So it found in all cells, but there are different types of proteins that it is made of vary between all the organisms. So there are different types of cytoskeletons which provide shape and organization to the cell. It is the system of fibril structures that diffuses the cytoplasm. So that's why they are also known as cytoplasmic organelles sometimes. So here in this diagrammatic presentation we can see the filamentous structure or the organization of cytoskeleton in the cytoplasm of the cell. So here we can see this is the plasma membrane of the cell, and here this is the cell nucleus. So from the cell nucleus to the plasma membrane, here we can see different filamentous structures which are different types of cytoskeleton. About these cytoskeleton we are discussed in our upcoming slides. So there are microtubules or intermediate filaments or actin filaments, which are the types of cytoskeletons. Now let's understand about the types of cytoskeleton components. So basically the cytoskeleton is made up of different components, and there are three major components which make the cytoskeleton, and these components are microfilaments, microtubules and intermediate fibers. Now let's understand first about the microfilaments. So the microfilaments are the component of cytoskeleton, and as their name indicates, they are filamentous structures. They resemble like small or thin filaments, and they consist of actin monomers, which means that they consist of a protein named as actin, and that's why they are also called actin filaments, because they are mostly composed of these proteins. Now they are about 7 nanometers thick, and they are also known as thinnest filaments or thinnest components of the cytoskeleton. These microfilaments are located in the periphery of the cell, which means that they are located in the periphery of plasma membrane of the cell, and they are considered as thinnest and narrowest structures. Now the another structure or another component of cytoskeleton is microtubules. The microtubules, as the name indicates, that they are tubulous structures and they are considered as the largest component of the cytoskeleton and have the diameter of about 23 nanometer. So they are the hollow tubes or tubulous structures which are made up of alpha and beta tubulin. That's why they are also called as tubulin components. Now each microtubule consists of 13 linear protofilaments which are arranged around the hollow core, and that's why they resemble like hollow tubes like structures. Now these are the appendages that increase the cell surface area, and in some cases they also allow cell to move. Now the third type of component of cytoskeleton is intermediate filaments, and as the name indicates intermediate, they are in the position of intermediate between all two other components which are microfilaments and microtubules. So basically they are about 8 to 12 nanometer wide because the microfilaments are the thinnest filaments and the microtubules are the largest components, so that's why they are considered as intermediate filaments, and they are comprised of large family of polypeptides instead of microtubules and microfilaments which are made up of particular type of proteins like tubulin. Now these intermediate filaments are of different types of cells that contain variety of intermediate filaments, so which means that different types of cells have different types of variety about intermediate filaments. So they are classified into 6 major groups like type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5 and type 6 filaments. So with the help of this diagrammatic presentation, here we can see the ultrastructure of cell which having the filamentous structure of the cytoskeleton. So in this diagram we can see the location of different types of elements of cytoskeleton and about their nature. So at the periphery of plasma membrane, here we can see the intermediate filaments. And now these green hollow tubes are resembling tubular hollow tubular structure, and these structures are microtubules which are made up of tubulin monomers. Now here these filamentous structures are the thinnest filamentous structure of the cytoskeleton which are named as microfilaments, and these microfilaments are made up of actin monomers, and these are the cell membranes of the cell. Now here in this diagram we can see how these elements or how these components of cytoskeleton are found in the cell. So in the cell, the intermediate filaments are resembled like this. They form all over network like position in the cell, and the microfilaments and microtubules are found like this situations. Now let's understand about the functions of cytoskeleton. So the major important function is these cytoskeletons are helpful to provide support and definite shape to the cell. So basically, as the name indicates, the cytoskeleton, these elements act as a skeleton for the cytoplasm or the cell. So that's why they play a very important role for supporting and provide shape to the cell. Now the cytoskeleton also organize the cell and hold the organelle of the cell in the place, because as we have seen in earlier slide and in the diagram that they form all over a network or the filamentous network in the cell. So that's why they help to hold a particular organelle in the particular place. Now the type of cytoskeleton which is microtubule, it also help in the formation of cilia and flagella, and these cilia and flagella have a very important role in the movement in bacteria and other eukaryotic or prokaryotic organisms. The cytoskeleton also helps in movement of chromosomes, and in the cell division they also help in the movement of chromosome and the proper partition of chromosomes in both daughter cells with the help of the formation of centrosomes. These cytoskeletons are also helpful in the formation of vacuoles, and they are also helpful in the transportation mechanisms. So in this video, we have discussed about the cytoskeleton, the different types of cytoskeletons and their functions in the cell. Thank you.